So here's hoping game 2 from Steveasaurus and Kumiho can show us some maybe slightly more, maybe a slightly better level of something. I don't know. A slightly better level, I guess, of, oh good lord, I'm looking at the desktop. Well, I must have, surely my Windows button's disabled, isn't it? Apparently not. Yeah, a slightly higher level of strat than attack with your workers and overlords at the 20-minute mark. I don't ever want to see that again. Never. I don't want to see a hatchery first build. You know, we had a player, Utomno, some time ago that he liked a hatchery first, or at least he did in that very first game. And it didn't pan out so well for him in that game. And it didn't pan out well for Kumiho in the last game either. So, you know, do remember, the key to this game is building an army and using the army to attack. So in the early stages of the game, do build a spawning pool, do build and expand, do continue to build workers. Whilst doing that, do build an army. That, you know, those are, it's a complex game in a lot of regards, but the premise is really quite straightforward. Basically, turn minerals and gas into an army and crush your opponent with it. If you're not mining the minerals and gas, you won't be as good at that as somebody that is. If you're not building the army, you're not going to do as well as someone that is. And if you're not attacking with the army, you're not going to do as well as someone who is. That's it. You know what I mean? All other plays, all strats, all sneakiness, everything else revolves around the idea of mining, getting the money, getting the gas, turning it into army, attack and kill. That is the absolute crux of what we need to do here. So, yeah, Steveasaurus is somewhat ahead on army supply, but not massively. There must be quite a lot of lings on the map. There are 26 lings on the map, but 28 marines. So lings don't scale quite the way that marines do. You know, if lings attack this, every one of the marines is shooting something. Whereas when lings attack, it's only the front lings that can get any surface area because they're melee units. So, you know, pound for pound, the marines will trade a little better generally. Yeah, it's just kind of how it works. There are some roaches now on the map as well. If you are going to build roaches, the roach upgrade, the speed upgrade, is the key one to get. And you do need a lair for that. Look at this. What is this, Kumiho? Why? Why is this here? Why is this here? You know, why are there 3 spawning pools? Why? What the? Let's see that again. Steveasaurus has decided he's built too many workers. That must be the problem. With his worker count at 40, decided, do you know what? It's just too many. That's what it is. It's too many workers. I'll just send some to their death. You know, and sometimes you do that. Sometimes you do deliberately send workers to your death. It's normally late game when you're at about the, like, you know, past the 15-minute mark, when you've been maxed out for some time, you've traded backward and forward, you've resupplied a couple of times, you're still on about 80 workers, but because of the nature of the maps, there's maybe only 2 full mining patches left on the whole map. Or, you know, if you look at this map, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mining patches each. So, you know, once you're up on 6 bases, this is mined out, this is mined out, and this is mined out. Once this starts to mine out, you find yourself with, you have more workers than you can possibly mine with. So there's simply no point, and you'll also have quite a large bank. So you might as well sacrifice them. And in the case of Terran, at some point in the late game, you start instead, you can your workers, and instead you build lots of command centers, so that instead of mining minerals with workers, you just mine with mules. But I mean, don't worry about actually what the hell is happening here? Kumiho isn't going to get supply blocked anytime soon. That's not a thing that's going to happen. So losing those two overlords, normally that would be bad because you might get supply blocked. Nuh-uh! All the overlords. Remember, Kumiho, overlords cannot attack. It isn't a thing that they can do. So we're about to see a pretty one-sided battle here, I think. Even if the siege tanks don't siege up, I think there's a strong chance that these Marines, just backed up by the tanks, the Thors, just literally obliterate this Zerg army off the map. Steveasaurus, you know, with some APM going on there. You don't need it, Steve. Click, and then just go home and macro up, do what you like. There's, you know, Kumiho, of the three things that it's important to do: mine, gather the minerals, build the army, attack your opponent. There was an important one that you left out, and that was build the army. That's why you've got so many minerals in the bank. You definitely did build some structures. You know, there was a Hydra den, didn't see any Hydras. There's a Spire, didn't see any Mutalisks. There's an Infestation Pit, didn't see any Infestus. There's a Nidus Worm, didn't see any, there's a Nidus Network, sorry, didn't see any Nidus Worms. So, you know, just building the buildings on their own doesn't sort of magically make the army appear. You do have to actually construct the units. So Steveasaurus, on the other hand, did successfully build an army and has now eventually successfully attacked as well, and therefore, by my reckoning, goes 2-0 up, and I'm a little confused by that, because they sent me 3 replays. Okay, that's a best at 3, and it's hard to see how Kumiho can come back from 2-0 down to win this, but who knows? GG.